let that sound be a wake-up call to all Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation members active in the largest general farm organization in the state. Mississippi Farm Bureau celebrated its 100th anniversary in 2022, but now it's time to lay the groundwork for the organization to grow bigger and better in its next 100 years.
We're very proud of our leaders that's gotten us to this point, but it's very important for us to set the pace for the future.
In many ways, this 101st annual meeting is more important than the last. In 2023, Mississippi Farm Bureau started new programs to ensure all members will have a voice, from the Landmark Leadership Council to a campaign school for members who want to run for office to a plan setting the pace for the next 5 years. Each department is expected to set worthwhile goals to strengthen not just Farm Bureau, but farming and ranching across Mississippi.
And it feels like Farm Bureau is grabbed on to us with President McCormick, the vice presidents, the regional managers. They're really pouring into this program and expecting us to do our part. I want to challenge all the rest of the farmers who grew up in Young Farmer to recommit themselves to come to do a better job of being an advocate for farmers.
This week was designed to reinvigorate members through workshops, speakers, and fellowship. Retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Marilyn Wills was on her way to her office at the Pentagon the morning of September 11, 2001.
Because we're all going to fail. But what do we do to reignite that in us? We got to jump right back in it again. It was so easy for me to say, I'm no longer going back to the Pentagon. I'm done. But I knew I couldn't do that because it was something in me to say, no, you got to become resilient. Jump right back in it better than you were when you left.
Former NFL offensive lineman Jason Brown now farms in North Carolina, donating much of the food he grows to local food banks.
There's a mutual understanding that, we go through trials and tribulations. We go through and we weather the storms, all right, especially in agriculture, all right. When it rains, it pours. When it's dry, there's drought, so okay. And so there's so many unique circumstances that we go through, but we all have to hold on to hope and faith.
Whether through resilience, faith, and hope, or just plain hard work, it's now time to roll up your sleeves and take the next step, making Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation the best it can be for 178,000 member families.
It's going to be just important to keep recruiting very solid young farmers to keep the organization going. And, that's the most important part. I think what we're doing is, preparing the future generation to be leaders in the organization. And so far, we've had really good luck and keep on, the next generation going.
Because if we won't fight for the good of agriculture, then who?
Everybody can do it if they'll just find an hour every week to do this. And so that's our goal, is to look into that, because those of us who are senior citizens now, we're outgrowing, but we can be mentors to these younger people if they'll just give us an opportunity.
Our percentage of farmers right now is less than 2%. So when we go into a classroom and we teach these kids where their food comes from, then they realize what farmers are actually doing. Agriculture is no longer just sows, cows, and plows, is what I tell people all the time. It is more precise now. There's more modern technology that's involved.
We're the generation that needs to take it and push it forward. So I'm very thankful for what we learned from YFR. I'm looking forward to what we learn, what we can do with our Landmark Leadership Group going forward.
As President Mike McCormick said in his annual address to the membership, we are reinforcing
Farm Bureau for years to come. Plank by plank, nail by nail, we want to strengthen an already sturdy foundation so we can continue to serve the ag community. To make sure that we're using all the resources that our memberships provide us to do the right thing, do what they want, to get the things accomplished that affects our farmers and ranchers in the best possible way. Together to decide how do we set the pace, how do we get to where we want to be. So we look forward to working on that in 2024.